Hey guys, today we watched Baby Driver, the new driving movie starring Mad Men, Jamie Foxx, the kid, the guy, Baby Driver, Baby Driver's girlfriend, and Aiden. What is the plot of Baby Driver? Alright. Hey guys, today we saw the movie Baby Driver. Hey guys, today we watched Baby Driver, the movie starring a whole bunch of people. It's about heists, and Aiden, tell us about the plot of Baby Driver.
Baby Driver is a movie about a getaway driver, and it's the Reddit version of Drive.
Driver's the Reddit version of Drive.
Yeah, this is the even more Reddit version.
The 9gag.
But anyway,
I love cheeseburger.com.
Baby is a getaway driver who gets screwed into driving for Kevin Spacey because he was robbing Kevin Spacey's car as a kid and he owed him money for it. And so Baby Driver meets a girl and he falls in love with her, and he has a retarded black crippled dad.
Well, his parents died, and that's why they're retarded.
Yeah, his parents died.
Foster parent, presumably, started, kind of decaying since he was like a 7-year-old black man. I'm assuming he wasn't in that state.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, yes, anyway, Baby does heists. He finally gets his debts paid off, but then Kevin Spacey's like, you gotta keep working for me or I'm gonna fucking kill everyone you know. And so Baby goes on one last heist, and the heist goes wrong because Baby does the heist alongside Jamie Foxx and John Hamm from Mad Men and John Hamm's fictional girlfriend. And Baby doesn't approve of Jamie Foxx murdering people left and right. So
Well, Jamie Foxx was about to murder the bank teller or the postwoman,
yeah,
who was being nice to him earlier.
yeah. Baby goes out of his way a lot to try to protect people's lives because he's got a good heart.
He's got a good heart of gold, perhaps.
But he runs the car into a pole and Jamie Foxx is shish kebab to death.
Yeah,
And
he gets brained.
they get chased by the cops, and the girlfriend, John Hamm's girlfriend, ends up dead. And he gets in a long battle with John Hamm, where John Hamm keeps trying to come back at him for revenge. And
He Harvey does it in the Dark Knight, where they meet up in like the parking garage.
yeah, and then Baby and his girlfriend eventually try to get the hell out of town, but Baby realizes that his girlfriend deserves a better life and he lets himself be taken to jail. So, what do you think of the Baby Driver?
Well, Baby Driver was an alright movie. Wasn't perfect. I mean, there were definitely things where I was like, at points I was like, what? How is that possible at all? Like, the fact that none of them were ever caught, despite the fact that their faces are flashed all over the news and shit. And the fact that they conveniently ended up at his girlfriend's restaurant like 74 times, even like gang, no gang. He's walking around. The movie was kind of meme-packed, if you feel me. It was basically like a lot of like, at first they were obviously trying to rip off like Guardians of the Galaxy type tones. The movie started to kind of come into its own past the first act, and start to actually like feel like its own movie, feel like a heist movie, and not like it was just leaning on like that trendy old school music crutch and the whole like thing where his mom gave him an iPod. Like kind of plot points taken directly from Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's obviously some stuff that kind of felt like it was taken from Drive, but that said, the movie did a good job of differentiating itself. It's like the like I know we were poking fun at it earlier, calling it the 9-gag version of Drive, but really what it feels like is like the big budget action movie version of Drive, and in some ways, I think it's a very fun watch. It's a very fun movie to watch. Obviously, it's not as like, I guess it's a little less sensical than the other ones, but definitely the characters are probably the strongest part of the movies. Even though Baby doesn't say that much, he's really good in the movie. Deborah was also pretty cool in the movie, and all of the criminals that kind of were cool as like, we kind of got slight depth to the character, like kind of depth to the characters. Each one of these criminals did their own things. There are some funny-ish moments, like the Mike Myers mask party, even though that was in like every trailer. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, it would have been funnier if I didn't already know the punchline from the trailers. That said, that would have been the hilarious moment. I feel like if it wasn't for the trailers, just like spoiling that. And I guess now if you're watching this, you're spoiled, so sorry. But it was funny. It was a funny part. The bank heists were cool. They felt very high octane. I liked how they didn't like make it so it was like a super cool heist scene and then Baby's just sitting in the car. It followed Baby, so it would be focused on him, but in the background you can see the heist going on. And a lot of the times the whole movie was kind of accompanied by Baby's soundtrack, which at time would be blocking audio, and it would give us, a lot of the times the music helped paint the mood and what Baby was feeling at that point. Although the music sometimes felt kind of unrealistic, where it'd be like a heist and he listened, like there was this big shootout where like 40 people died, and from the start of the heist, like it wasn't like a heist, it was like a gun deal. You were in the bathroom for this part, but he listens to the song Tequila, and it start to finish plays during this gun deal that goes south. Everybody starts shooting, like 20 people end up dead. And it all happened in like 3 minutes or whatever that song was playing. So there were some parts that were kind of weird, some parts that like you would think wouldn't make sense in the real world, but you can kind of get over it because the characters were strong, the story was fun, and it just kind of was a cool like heist movie, driving movie mixed with a cool emotional action movie. Was it perfect? I'm not going to call it perfect. I'm not going to call it fantastic, but it's definitely a fun summer blockbuster. We saw it at matinee price at like noon, and that's like, you know, it might be a good movie to see. And, you know, just like, you know, Thursday night, Friday night, you got nothing better to do. Go out with some friends or whatever. Watch Baby Driver. So, Aiden, what did you think of Baby Driver?
I thought it was Reddit. And by that I mean
Memes away.
I thought it was pretty great.
How fast can I flash 50 memes on the screen?
I don't know. We'll pause here and we'll see how many we can fit. Anyway. I went into this movie expecting like Drive, but quippy, like quick Drive, cringe Drive, Marvel Drive. And even though it does obviously take a lot of elements from it, I mean some elements of this movie are directly ripped from Drive. He meets the love interest at a diner, the Halloween masks. I know these are things that are like elements of most heist movies, but this movie felt especially like it was kind of leaning on Drive and like the anticipation that Drive hadn't been seen by most people. But I think at the same time it really established its own identity. It's you know, the music was one of the aspects that really worried me. I figured it'd be just like, Suicide Squad, where they just like jammed it in randomly and
Or
poorly.
like if we toss some random songs in there, like fucking
But-
Senate, or what is that, Fortunate One? What if they played Fortunate One in this movie? As they storm the fucking bank or something, Fortunate One comes in.
That ain't me. Yeah. Well, but honestly, the movie incorporated the music that it used. One, it had some pretty cool picks, I think, but it incorporated it better than Guardians of the Galaxy did. Honestly, I mean, there was a lot of times where the things that were happening on screen would sync up with the music, and it was a really nice effect. And
It didn't feel
the music wasn't ever really.
It didn't feel like it was like the music was picked afterwards and just laid over. It felt like they had it in the script. They probably had to get the music licensed out before filming, it felt like, which is a smart way to do it. I think Guardians did the same thing, but I would argue
They didn't
that it's done nearly as effective, if not more.
Yeah, and the music was never like distracting. Like it was never like you felt like you were just hearing 80 songs so that they could sell an album.
It also definitely felt like, at least Guardians of the Galaxy 2 did a pretty bad job of pushing the soundtrack, which they tried to do again. The first movie definitely had like Peter Quill, a lot of the movie following him, and his emotions and shit were displayed through the songs, and the audience's emotion was portrayed through there. And I feel like they kind of tried to do that same technique in this film, but may have done it a smidge better, even. Like,
I would argue that.
Like I felt like the tone and the music wasn't even like as distracting.
It wasn't
As
distracting.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It always fit with the tone, but also, I mean, just the way that the shots were synchronized with the music, it all came together really well. The movie is lightning fast paced, which I really enjoyed. Like the movie never stops going. It's always just, but not in a way that feels rushed. Like the movie feels just right. The action is
good pace.
The action is a lot of fun, especially when it's the car action, like them getting chased by the redneck out of the bank, and they like get Christmas Vacation under the truck.
Also, like the hits
They,
of
like,
the
spin.
shots felt pretty real in this. Like when the cars crashed.
Oh yeah.
And like when Jamie Foxx got hit, it looked like what would almost actually happen if someone got hit with the pole. It's not like in a Marvel movie where the guy's like, whoa, and like flies or gets like impaled, but he's completely fine. Like he blew up into like a blood sack. Like,
No, it was. The action was a lot of fun. The characters were strong, even though the story was pretty light. The humor was a mixed bag. Like a lot of it was kind of like corny as fuck. Especially like you said, it was kind of cringier at the start, where they were like kind of trying to meme it up for the trailers. But there was a couple moments towards the end. There was actually quite a few moments in the movie that were decently funny. I mean, even towards the end when the movie started getting more serious, when he accidentally backs into John Hamm and his girlfriend trying to escape, and when Kevin Spacey's like, stop reciting lines from Monsters Inc. to me, and overall it was a pretty damn good movie. It was fun and entertaining, and it didn't feel its length, which is always good. It felt like incredibly fast paced.
Supposed to be?
I don't even know.
We left the theater at like 1:30, so it was probably like an hour 45 minutes or 2 hours.
It was super fast paced though. It was
Honestly, everything was cut pretty well. It didn't feel like there was too much fat that was unneeded.
Yeah, it's not some great art piece, but in the end, it's just like a really good, fun, well-made movie that,
I feel like the best part was definitely the characters. The characters were something you could pretty easily get invested with, even when they didn't have much. And I feel like all the elements of the movie, even though at times it felt fairly nonsensical, it all came together pretty well. And
John Hamm, the villain. He kind of fell for you.
Well, I mean, John Hamm wasn't always the villain in this movie, but
That's
he pretty
pretty
much
much
was. I mean, at first he was kind of the most nice to Baby and stuff.
And then
I mean,
Baby
really,
and
I
Kevin,
Oh, you might have heard.
Baby and Kevin Spacey having like an actual
If
friendship
anything,
towards the
yeah,
end.
Kevin Spacey felt like the villain. It felt like if I had to
Jamie
guess
Foxx
earlier
felt like the
on,
villain.
Jamie Foxx, but even more so, like he was like, yeah, you're never gonna leave this life because I'm not gonna allow you, basically. So John Hamm was pretty much obvious, or not John Hamm, I'm sorry, Kevin
No,
Spacey.
but John Hamm going crazy.
John Hamm was pretty much like, I would say like of our main cast was like the second most sympathetic and second most like almost feeling like a good guy, or
Yeah.
not really
No,
a
I
good
feel.
guy, but more of like a human understanding character, and it was kind of an interesting arc for him as like once he lost his wife, how it kind of everything went south and he just kind of went to a full villain. Like Jamie Foxx didn't never really have the anchor of a wife, and maybe that's why he was supposed to be less human. And when John Hamm lost his wife, maybe that's what kind of drove him insane to the beyond like Jamie Foxx's craziness level. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm reading into it too much.
And Kevin Spacey became pretty much a good guy, and you know, we're just
Yeah, for some reason Kevin Spacey probably could have got escaped pretty easily because he wasn't really under the bullet at all, but he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna completely just change my character, complete 180, and I guess he just likes Baby that much, but he liked Baby that much, why wouldn't he let him escape the life earlier? That didn't really ever make sense to me,
I think-
but it is what it is.
I think the idea was that he felt he needed Baby to do the jobs, and he didn't want to let go of Baby, but he
Well,
kind
he
of
did
formed
say
like
his
a
only driver, kind of like a
Yeah.
second father-son relationship.
yeah. That's what I was about to say.
Which is interesting considering Baby's parental figures were now the adopted father, who was more or less just there for like kind of to ground Baby and give him some more stakes other than just the girlfriend beforehand. And on contrast, John, Kevin Costner. But Aiden, would you recommend this film?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's fun, and I would recommend it. Connor, what about you?
Yes, I recommend the film. It's good. It has things in the plot that are kind of contrived. A lot of things in it. Some of the pacing makes the love plot seem sort of strange and rushed. But honestly, if you just step back and enjoy it for what it is, it's a pretty good, cool action summer movie that is kind of a breath of fresh air considering pretty much everything else coming out is like a superhero movie or a garbage flop like Transformers. Well, Transformers is basically a superhero movie.
And Jumanji too.
Jumanji 2 is actually coming. Jumanji the remake, I should say, because
No, it's Jumanji 2. It's called Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. That's the full title. And they use Welcome to the Jungle in the trailer. It's really horrible.
So what, is it like a soft sequel reboot thing?
Yes. 4 kids find a video game version of Jumanji because board games are old-fashioned.
It must be kind of a reboot.
They play the video game,
I heard it was
and they
a
get
reboot.
transferred
I don't
into the
think that's a
video
sequel.
game, and in the video game, they're the
It's
Rock,
actually the second reboot, though.
The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and
So wait, Jumanji's just a big ass video game?
yes, but they get their brains.
Oh,
So it's like a remake of Tron.
Jack
with like
Black is in
Jumanji.
it? What is this, 2005?
Jack Black, Kevin Hart, The Rock. Some girl.
So it's not a sequel, it's another remake.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just call it goddamn Zathura? Zathura was also supposed to be like a modernized remake of Jumanji.
Yeah, but this one takes place in the jungle, Connor. They go to the jungle.
What
Zathura's
the
in
fuck?
space.
How did Zathura happen? Was that made by the same studio or was that some bullshit? Bye!
Against the grain, love to stop it, claims all the thoughts, your actions.
When is the last time you want to watch a bitch?
Like December. December 25th. Where you going, buddy?
Is that it for the video?
You didn't turn it off. I was waiting to see how long it took you to turn it off, and now you're putting all your weed shit back on.
It's all my weed shit, it's drugs. Suck up my balls.